Hi there. In 2014, my son was a college freshman, having received a scholarship to attend Savannah College of Art and Design in Savannah, Georgia. We were back living in Louisville, Kentucky at the time, so of course that required for him to move back and forth from school to come home on weekends, etc. That required him to drive. We know that we live in a society where difference based on race is often vilified. And it's just the narrative that we've all inherited, and that becomes ever more exacerbated when it comes to engagements with certain institutions, including policing has been particularly precarious for Black people forever. And there isn't a academic or professional exemption from that. Like we all of us have had engagements with police officers that have not been pleasant and entirely unkind and difficult, attributable to what we look like. So knowing that, I created this police pouch for my son to wear around his neck, and it looks like this. And inside of the police pouch, I would put his driver's license, insurance card, registration copy, but I'd also put a little description about his family and him. And it was intended to disrupt the narrative. If he were, my son, were to engage with the police officer or to encounter a police officer who was assigning to him, the police officer assigning to my son, the stereotypical narrative of young Black male in car. And in my son's case, young Black male in a really nice car. I wanted the card that I wrote to disrupt that narrative for him in the moment. And what the narrative said was, my name is Justin, and I am on scholarship to Savannah College of Art and Design. I live in Louisville, Kentucky. My parents are both gainfully employed. I have never been in trouble with the law. I've never encountered law enforcement in any way that's been negative for me. There are no drugs or no narcotics in my car. I then also included a photo of our family, a family photo of me, my husband then, and my son and my daughter, because I wanted to humanize my son for this police officer. Because oftentimes it's odd to hear this and odd for people to wrap their heads around it, but this idea of Black equaling human for far too many people is still up for discussion. So I wanted to humanize my son, and I also wanted to, should that police encounter go awry, I wanted that police officer to understand who would be left to grieve him. That he, like anyone else, has a mother and a father and siblings and a family dynamic that is beautiful, and that family is expecting this kid to get to and fro safely. So I was hoping that that photo would signify all of that. So that's what we did. That was the point of the police pouch. I will tell you that my son absolutely hated wearing it. But again, it was intended so that he wouldn't have to reach, right? So if this is around your neck or visible and easily accessible, the police officer can take this without my son ever having to move his hands from the 10 and 3 position, never having to reach, which was terrifying and still is terrifying for me. So I offer this really to kind of share that there is very much a very different lived experience for Black people in this country. With regard to all of the institutions, how we engage in education, how we experience education systems, how we experience health systems, how we experience policing and judicial systems, is just very different, and oftentimes fraught with narratives and stereotypes and prejudgments that most white people just don't have visibility to. So I hope this helps.